Sun Tzu once said, "Be extremely subtle, even to the point of formlessness. Be extremely mysterious, even to the point of soundlessness. Thereby, you can be the director of the opponent's fate."
You ain't scared. Yeah.
What's up, guys? This is your host Doncho, and welcome to the first episode of my second series of videos. It's called Masters of Warfare. Of course, very soon I'm going to be releasing the second video to StarCraft Gods, my other series where I showcase very good StarCraft players. Unfortunately, because I was practicing quite a lot, I couldn't release any video. I haven't released the second episode in 3 weeks, which is a long time. No excuse there, but I'm gonna try my best to produce more content in the near future. So what is this series, Masters of Warfare, for? Basically what I wanted to do with this, and this game actually gave me the idea, was I pick games, regardless of the level of play, I pick games where strategic decisions win the game for one of the players. Why strategic decisions? Well, because regardless of micro, macro, and mechanical skill, this is a game of warfare. And in warfare, sometimes it's only strategy and tactics that win you the game. Even if you are in a very bad position, thinking yourself out of that position can produce some very impressive games. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into this game, because we're already at close to 15 supply here. Jesus Christ, 2 minutes of talking. In the bottom left corner of Secret Springs, representing the Risen community, which happens to be in my own clan, an awesome Teal Protoss player named Altair, and his opponent from LGR, coming from the far top right corner lands of the Zerg. It's going to be Datsun. Datsun, of course, got his hatchery blocked here, so he's taking this hatchery. I mean, Secret Spring has a very weird base setup, so I feel like Datsun is just like, whatever, bro, I'm just gonna take this one, and then later I'm gonna take this one. Datsun playing a J-Dong style of Zerg, meaning he delays his base count but gets tech very fast. So he's not very worried about securing this as a natural, since he's gonna have units on the map. This is a clan war game, and the backstory behind this game was that Datsun went on I think a 4-game win streak before he played this game versus Altair, and this was by far the best game of the night. And it showcased one of the most brilliant plays I've ever seen. Regardless of the fact that these are not professional players, they did show us a very memorable game. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope as we progress further and further into the game, you appreciate the decisions made by specifically one of the players. And of course, you're gonna know who that is, but I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Meanwhile, what's happening in the Protoss base? He went for a Nexus first, then got a Forge, then a Gateway. He's gonna get that safety cannon. Doesn't want to have any pesky Zerglings in his base. Of course, the Overlord is gonna see all of that, and is gonna get out of the way of that cannon pretty soon. Just move a bit further into the base. Sees absolutely everything. 2 gases taken by the Protoss player. So already we know that that chrono boost into the Nexus is gonna mean some that the Protoss player wants to get his production up. Not production. Sorry guys. He wants to get a healthy economy up before he does anything weird. And saturates 2 gas. Nothing out of the ordinary yet. But that doesn't mean that the Protoss can't go crazy anytime. Still, we're expecting the tech choice. Now, as I was saying, here's the interesting thing. Datsun getting his 2 bases, not in a hurry to get a 3rd hatchery whatsoever. He just wants to establish map control, map presence, see everything that's going on, spreading overlords all across the map. Those 2 Zerglings are just chilling there, having a tea party. They're like 2 little doggies. No, actually, they're gonna move all around. Speed is gonna be done in about 40 seconds, so these lings are gonna be able to run around and use Secret Springs as their playground. 3rd hatchery is on the way. No creep spread yet by Datsun, but he is not worried at all. He's just droning up, and that's what Zergs want to do. They want to get a good drone count, so they establish a strong economy, and behind that economy they can start pumping out units later in the game. Most two base all in by Protoss are held by using a very strong economy as a stepping stone when you're a Zerg. If you don't have enough drones, I don't care if you have the technology, you're still gonna probably die. But here is the tech choice from Altair. He takes the Twilight Council, and this could mean one of two things. He's either gonna go Blink and try to do some aggressive plays with that, or he might go for DTs, or I don't know, maybe he goes for both. There's really, I mean, he could go, I guess, for High Templars, but I don't really see how High Templars could be very useful at this stage. At this stage in the game, he did not rush his third and fourth gas. There is no reason to, because it would just be foolish at this point. And yeah, this should be Blink, I think. Both players producing workers at a very steady rate. Down at the bottom of the screen, we can see 38 to 43 workers. So very similar worker counts. Of course, it's natural for the Zerg to be slightly further ahead. Those screens are gonna start poking in the mothership core, and it gets out of dodge because it's a pretty squishy little unit. I mean, it's scary, it has some awesome abilities, but at the end of the day, it dies pretty quickly. With only 190 health, 2 queens can kill it very quickly. And here is the other tech choice from Altair. He goes for Blink and a Dark Shrine, so he's gonna be looking for some pretty aggressive plays. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier from Datsun. He gets the layer and he gets an evolution chamber pretty quickly and start pumping out those upgrades. So definitely here we can see how he likes to get certain piece of technology. I mean, his +1 upgrade is halfway done before the Roach Warren was even completed. So once those roaches pop out, they're gonna have benefit from a +1 attack upgrade pretty quickly. Also, creep spread, very essential for holding any types of attacks. And given the fact that 4 more gates were just added by Altair about a minute ago, this means that the Protoss is going for a very aggressive 2-base play here. Hydralisk Den, though, is almost completed, and Altair a supply blocked at 60 supply, almost 30 supply down. So you can see that Datsun is pumping out units at a very steady rate, and there is one Dark Templar moving across the map. It is only intended to delay the Zerg, but the Overseer is maybe gonna see this. Yes, the Overseer sees this, and all of the roaches start coming back. They still do not have speed, but that doesn't matter because they're gonna catch that Dark Templar, and it's gonna do absolutely no damage. 3 Overseers are morphing in. How much damage will that Dark Templar do? I don't think there's gonna be a lot of damage. Then yeah, he gets surrounded, killed immediately, and this push doesn't seem very scary because Datsun took no damage from the DTs. He was not delayed. The tactic of this Blink attack, which is gonna hit with +2, should chrono boost that out there. Oh, the idea behind the Dark Templar in this Blink attack is to delay the Zerg so that when the Blink attack actually hits, oh no, 3 queens are poking in the Mothership Core. This might be really bad in the Mothership Core. Time Wars, but dies. This is a very good pick off for the Zerg player. And the queens, supported by roaches, hydras, and zerglings, and creep, are gonna be facing an army that they can overwhelm easily. Zerg double the supply of his opponent at the moment. Blinks are pretty decent here. Stepping off of creep is Altair, but there is just too much Zerg here. Look at the army supply, 38 versus 78 now, 40 supply difference. Ooh, move command loses a couple of the stalkers, so this attack is not looking very good here. He should blink away because he is losing this engagement bad, and the blink stalkers are, the blink micro is real, but the reinforcement pylon is gonna be killed, and the stalkers cut off the way of the chasing Zerg army. Probe is picked off, so absolutely no proxy pylons and no presence for the Zerg for the Protoss player on the top of the map. Zerg is free to roam on 3 bases, producing 9 drones now, getting that healthy 3 base saturation, and Altair is in a very tough spot, and here is where things started getting crazy. Here, guys, up until now you have been watching a very standard game, but at this, it is now just about now that things are gonna start getting completely out of control. Blinks, kills an overlord, kills the drones, denies the force, pulls the entire Zerg army back, and Altair is gonna use some special blink tactics to get in that 3rd base, start attacking. Drones are pulled, kills one queen, kills a drone. some really quick pickoffs, and now the Zerglings actually tell Altair that the army is coming. Kaido's gonna get themselves a stalker here. Altair is still supply blocked at home. Keep in mind that back at home, Altair is doing absolutely nothing special. He's just pumping out +3 and continuing mining. All of the resources are dumped into stalkers, but with the current supply block, it is pretty hard for Altair to build any units. Some special tactics here. Picks off a roach. Very nice. So here's where the tactical, the strategical decisions become very important for the Protoss player. He's trying to take a third base, but any good player will realize at this point that with Roach Hider on the map, especially with almost equal upgrades in just a second, there is no way the Protoss without area of effect damage is ever gonna get a third base. This base is gonna get cancelled very swiftly. But what is the Protoss player doing? He is just like Sun Tzu said earlier. He's formless. He's going on the other side of the map. He is abusing the terrain. He is not. His army movement is not predictable at this point. The Zerg cannot know where those stalkers are. They're moving all across the place. The Zerg is confused at the moment. Altair, even though he is more than twice down in supply, he is 57 versus 130 almost. Even though this is the case, look at this. Now, there is a warp prism on the way, and 2 robotics facilities. On 2 bases, it's pretty hard to pump out double Colossus, which I would guess is gonna be the choice of tech here by the Protoss player. But if he manages to dictate the pace of the game and keep the Zerg at home by picking off specific structures and maybe bases, the Zerg army might be confused. It might go back and give Altair the breathing room so much needed to get his his Colossi out, or maybe even a third base. But there is the Zerg army moving towards the third base, barreling down it. Is there gonna be a cancel? No, there is no cancel. So this Nexus is completely dead. But there is stalkers here moving and stepping on creep now. There is a warp prism here that is actually warping 4 DTs and three zealots, and they're gonna start moving towards the third base. Stalkers move in the main at the same time. The Zerg army is across the map. There is no way it can react on time. DTs are focusing down the hatchery. The hatchery dies. The 4th is also gonna die. Stalkers are sniping drones here. This is a huge pickoff. The moves are real. The Zerg army is attacking the main base. There is nothing here. 2 Colossus are. There is a Colossus. Yeah, 2 Colossus are on the map. But look back at home. The infestation pit is being picked off. 2 bases have already died. Colossus are on the way. The Overseer was sniped, so the Zerg army recognizes the fact that there are Dark Templar here and they cannot see them. So choppity chop chop, the Dark Templar are gonna chase away those. Oh, Roach! Oh, a Roach gets stabbed in the ass and dies. But the infestation pit is dying. The Hive is getting sniped. This is getting absolutely crazy. Attacks everywhere. Altair not following the conventional rules of army movement. He's refusing to fight the Zerg. He's fighting anywhere else but where the Zerg army is. Moving, and snipes the Hive. And what do we have here? No Hive, no infestation pit, no Vipers, no infestors to lock these stalkers in place. The Spire is on the way, but this is the only structure that is possible. Snipes the Spire, and not even a Spire is possible at this moment. The Stalkers get finally surrounded and die, but at what cost? 3 bases have fallen. The tech of the Zerg has fallen. He's down to Roach Hider. He's back in the Stone Age. Altair might be on 2 bases, but he has the Colossus count. And what does that mean? He has actually out-teched his opponent. His opponent had Hive. He had the answer to Colossus. He had access to Vipers. Now he doesn't, though. And these +3 range Colossus are very scary. Now the Zerg needs to take the guerrilla warfare tactics and maybe try to pull it back by attacking the Protoss in different locations. He needs to do what his opponent did. He needs to be formless on the map. He needs to counterattack, but not take straight up engagement, because if he does versus these Colossus who are actually wandering up the cliff alone, which is pretty scary, to be honest. If the Zerg goes for straight up engagement versus Colossus with pure Roach Hider, he is gonna lose, even on creep. Even with a good concave, it still might not be enough. The Warp Prism warping in some zealots, I'm not sure if it got picked off. This game is so crazy. Ooh, my phone did something, but This game is so crazy that I don't even care what my phone does. At this point, there's roaches and hydras moving across the map. They're gonna go for a third base, maybe. But, I mean, Altair, look at his bases. He's almost minding his natural. He's almost completely mined out his main. For 20 minutes, he has been on 2 bases, and he's just pumping out units. At this point, the Zerg doesn't have an answer, though. Look, the Hydralisk Den and the Roach Warren are both bleeding out. The creep is going to replenish, so they're not going to die. Fortunately for the Zerg, because he cannot afford to lose those tech structures. He doesn't really have a lot of gas, but the bank of the Zerg player is huge. Of course, this is a result of the very, very strong economical advantage that the Zerg had for a brief period of time before the crazy attacks by the Protoss player. Now there is 6 Colossus on the map and no answer to them. The army supply is much more equal than earlier in the game. Probe gets picked off and the proxy pylon dies, but there is one more proxy pylon here, so the Protoss player can still use this. Is the Zerg gonna engage? This is gonna be a big mistake. He needs to avoid this. He needs to do what his opponent did, but there is the engagement. Blinks back the Stalkers. The Zealots get in there and they tank the damage. There is no overseer, so the Dark Templar is going to do damage, and the Colossus evaporate the Hydra Roach army. Datsun in a lot of trouble. 37 supply down. He is gonna retreat to his main, but where is he gonna go? He's gonna lose the Hydra tank, he's gonna lose the Roach, he's gonna lose his main. The Evolution Chamber is gonna fall. 2 Spires are there, but 11 Corruptors. Are they really gonna be enough to deal with that many Colossus? When you have that many Colossus, the Corruptors need to kill them before the engagement, because the Colossus are just gonna evaporate everything before they die. And now Altair is gonna kill the main. He's gonna be moving towards that. The Spires are the last tech structures of Datsun. If he loses those, he's gonna be in a lot of trouble. And here is the engagement. The Stalkers are gonna walk back now, but is he gonna blink aggressively? 1 Colossus falls, but is it enough though? Look at the supply plummeting down. 40 supply down is the Zerg player. He was in such a brilliant spot. What happened? Well, what happened was strategy, my friend. This was one of the most brilliant moves I've ever seen in StarCraft, attacking in 3 different locations while holding your main with just a couple of DTs that pushed the army back while there was no detection. And now 11 drones left for the Zerg player. His bank is not looking so hot now. He had 3,000 resource, but no longer. There is some units in the main base that were sniped by Zealots, but at this point, what is there on the map? 5 Mutalisks. Are they really gonna be enough? I don't think so. These Overlords should not die, because Datsun doesn't have infinite Overlords. Fortunately for him, he does have Overlord speed, so he might just tell those Overlords to go in a corner. But the Spine Crawlers are actually doing a pretty good job, so Altair should not engage up this round. There's too many Spine Crawlers. He has no more units. Look at his income. Let's see. No minerals in the natural, none in the main. He's long distance mining from a base that doesn't have a nexus, so this army is the last army for the Protoss player. And whatever the Zerg produces now, which is mainly Roaches and maybe Mutalisks, yes, the Spires are not destroyed. Whatever the Zerg player produces now is going to be his last unit, so this is going down to the wire. This is coming down to the wire, but regardless of how close this is, the fact still remains. Altair is with 51 versus 13 supply, so I'm really not sure what Datsun can do at this point. Excuse me. Mutalisks are gonna camp the production line of the Protoss player, not the production, the income line of the Protoss player. But look at this. This is the last base that Datsun has. He has no more minerals to rebuild a hatchery, so he cannot rebuild a hatchery. This is it. These Mutalisks are the last hope for the Zerg player. And if they fall, if the Mutalisks fall, then I don't know what's left for him. He doesn't have any bases to mine from. He doesn't have the minerals for a new hatchery. Unfortunately, Spine Crawlers cannot be salvaged. So yeah, these Stalkers did their job very good. They're gonna blink away, and one unfortunate Stalker gets killed there. But what Altair needs to do at this point is just come back and defend this mineral line. Long distance mineral line, Congo line of probes with his Stalkers. And once those Mutalisks are chased away, He just needs to keep warping in stalkers with all the money he has, and eventually kill his opponent. Yeah. I mean, Mutalisks are dead. GG, and with one of the most brilliant strategic counterattacks I've seen in StarCraft, Altair wins. Thank you everyone for watching this first episode of Masters of Warfare, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope that the next game is gonna do justice to how good this one was. See you guys next time on Doncho TV.